Years ago, I was in a parts store for welding equipment, or welding store, I guess you'd want to call it. And I saw this young man there being questioned by the gentleman over the counter. He asked him, "Well, where are you from?" He goes, "I'm from Utah." He goes, "Are you a Mormon?" Without hesitation, the young man said, "Yes. Yes, I am." Then he goes, "Mormons are morons." The young man, without batting an eye, replied, "More on than off." Over the years, I thought about this and that young man. Been more than 30 years, 35 years, probably 40 years, and how right he was. The world doesn't know how right he was. Only those, the great, brave few, that have fought in the great war of World War II, the greatest generation of all, that came to the rescue of the free, to keep the free free and fight for freedom for all. The story goes, and this man that said Mormons are morons is more off than on could be. Because it was John Moses Browning that saved the whole free world. Yeah, there's a saying in the church, the Latter-day Saint Church, which is the Mormon church to those that don't know, that the Constitution of the United States would be hanging by a thread, and that it would be the elders of the church or the members of the church to come to the aid of the Constitution and save it. Well, the church does not embrace that as gospel or doctrine at all, because it didn't come down through the channels it was supposed to. It was said to someone else, a third party, from the prophet Joseph Smith himself, and came forth 50 years later and was said. However, I found where even the prophet Brigham Young brought it to light and mentioned it. Whether they want to or not, the Mormons do not, or the Latter-day Saints do not like to be in the limelight that way. They don't want to be pompous. They aren't pompous. The 13th article of faith. We believe in being honest, true, chaste, benevolent, virtuous, and doing good to all men. Indeed, we may say that we follow the admonition of Paul. We believe all things. We hope all things. We have endured many things and hope to be able to endure all things. If there is anything lovely, virtuous, or good report, or praiseworthy, we seek after these things. That encapsulates the whole that I am talking about today. More on than off. The one who, from the white horse, if you want to call it the white horse prophecy, if you believe it or not, the white horse being the church with the gospel of God, directed by Jesus Christ, the elders who came forth presented a gift to the whole free world and stepped forth to manufacture the tools of peace and prosperity for all the free world, saved the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the whole free world. Pompous as it may sound, it happened. The man is John Moses Browning and the Browning brothers. 6 factories. And Field Marshal Hermann Göring said, if we would have had these machines, these inventions of John Moses Browning, the M2 Modus, the nickname, which I will call the White Horse, on all of our airplanes in our Air Force, the outcome over Great Britain would be different. That's somebody in the know. At the time, he knew. What inventions did they have? Wow, they had first rockets. They had the first jet airplanes. They were a massive force to be reckoned with. The world cried for help. Who did God send them? A little known man, young man, before his time, great before his time, introducing the world to the greatest weapons or the greatest tools of freedom that have ever been manufactured at the time or the epicenter of the greatest generation on earth. Let's just put it this way, the P-51 had 3 on each wing, 6 in all. The B-17 had who knows how many. I don't know. Let's count them. If they had 3 on each wing like the P-51, that's 6. They had 2 in the nose, 2 underneath the nose. In the belly there's 2. On the back there was 2, and on top there was 2. How many's that? 2, 4, 6, 8, and 6 more. Let's see, that's 14. 12 to 14 guns just on the B-17. Modus, M2, 50 caliber machine gun. Also the 30 caliber. 5th grade education. When he was in a meeting with high-ranking military officials, he was asked a question, which humbly he answered. The question was, where did you receive your education? He chuckled and said, in my dad's shop. He was asked many times if he would receive an honorary doctorate from different colleges. He declined. Humble-like. More on than off. He knew who the real master was. He was taught from on high. The 3 inventions that were sold to the U.S. government, he sold at a whimsical price that they came off the ball with. Should have been $13 million. And they came and counter-offered that for a low-ball price of $750,000, and he jumped at the chance because he was more on than off. He was LDS. He knew what it was to sacrifice for the good of mankind. That's what he learns from his Father in heaven, from his church. the white horse. Merry Christmas to all. May God bless, and hopefully you'll understand why we are protected and that the Mormons are in the forefront of that protection. Merry Christmas and goodbye.